Hello, welcome to today's episode. We will debate about this topic, breaking away from the US, how Europe, China, and Russia are rebuilding digital power. What is being cooked behind the scenes? Are some countries really thinking about technology autonomy? What if the internet you're using today is already starting to split in two? Taking control of their own destiny is more and more being discussed out of the United States. Quietly, Europe, China, and Russia are building something new, their own digital ecosystems, their own rules, their own infrastructure, if efforts are made toward that goal. The global internet may never be global again. The United States of America is the absolute dominant force in the digital world, from cloud computing to social media. From operating systems to semiconductors, American companies built and still control the backbone of the internet. But now, voices are heard to depend less from the United States. In the technology sphere, digital sovereignty is what is being discussed outside the US. The world feels less secure with the US dominant position in technology. Thus, you can hear in the news, Europe wants control over its data. China is building a fully independent tech ecosystem. Russia is isolating its internet infrastructure. This is a sign that some countries want to protect themselves. Views on American hegemony on technology are perceived as risks before the worst comes. Nations are taking actions to reduce reliance on US technology. Our prevision is this: local companies will become big players in place of US tech companies. Local companies will be trusted compared to big foreign conglomerates. And maximum will be done to ensure native companies lead their geographic technology markets. Are we observing fragmentation in the digital world? What does that mean for global trade, innovation, and power? Part 1: The Era of US Digital Dominance. The modern internet is an American system. Their big companies create, run, and control technology platforms. We can name companies like Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Meta. Major tools widely known are cloud infrastructure, operating systems, search engines, social media, app distribution. Now, it's important to say whoever controls the infrastructures controls the data generated from users. The power lies here, plus the backdoor channel to use and analyze the insight of the data. The dangerous part is the switch on and off of the service. The US influence and power on technology is tremendous. Many countries assess the risk to maintain the status quo, particularly remembering the US role in the current geopolitics crises. Getting out of the US dependency is what some nations are debating on. If you follow the news, you can understand that steps are being taken to reach determined goals. Yes, reliable partners means less nowadays. Part 2: Europe, regulating for sovereignty. The European Union has become the global leader in digital regulation. The idea is not replacing the US technology, but controlling players acting in this sector, plus promoting their own champions to lead. It's not a business as usual, where big transatlantic corporations can dictate the tempo of the European market. Europe is pushing to be in command control. Any company willing to do business in the European market needs to respect the Digital Markets and Services Act. Some big tech companies have been heavily fined for not respecting the European laws and regulations for members of this channel. Let's remind what the Europeans want. Ensure that European data stays under European control, reduce dependence on foreign platforms, create a level playing field for local innovation. Yes, it's more than clear. The issue for Europeans is that there are no native big champions yet. Instead of dominating technologically, Europe is dominating regulatorily. This is a contagious move. As other nations are following the European steps, this is sometimes called the Brussels effect, where global companies adapt to EU regulations. And those rules become global standards. Europe is imposing his vision and building digital sovereignty through rules, not platforms. Part 3: China, building a parallel digital universe, China's ways to tackle. America's dominance in the technology sector are different. Instead of issuing and enforcing rules on foreign platforms, China just replaced them. China opts about independence versus censorship. China doesn't rely on US infrastructure to run its digital economy. No Google, no Facebook, no YouTube. China just replaced them. This country has its own technology ecosystem. Baidu Search, Alibaba e-commerce and cloud, Tencent social and payments. China is exporting his technology to other parts of the world. In emerging markets, China technologies are being used. China is a leader in 5G infrastructure, digital payment systems, digital Silk Road. Part for Russia, isolation as strategy. Russia's approach is more defensive. An extreme precaution. Russia's approach is to build a sovereign internet. This effort has been accelerated since geopolitical tensions with the West. This includes domestic DNS systems, local data storage requirements, the ability to disconnect from the global internet if needed. The goal is to ensure that Russia's digital infrastructure cannot be shut down from abroad. This is an extreme approach toward technology independence. In my opinion, this is the longest and costly path. Nevertheless, Russians are working on it and advancing. 1 month ago, Russia disconnected the worldwide internet, and some Russians did not notice it. The Russia sovereign internet is sometimes tested to know if it would respond well. The other program Russians are working on is the satellite internet, like Starlink, which offers internet via satellites. Russians are also testing the same technology, like in China. Russia is also building its own technology ecosystem. Part 5: The risk. A fragmented internet. The Splinternet is this move to build or restrict the global internet that exists now. Will data flow freely as before? Different standards will coexist. Will the quality of the internet be the same? What about various software tools you are used to? Can you travel and have access to them? You have part of the answers. Those who traveled to China or Russia would tell you. Software tools are being replaced. Geopolitics crises lead some countries to protect themselves if concrete achievements are promoted. Maybe other countries will decide their own path to follow. Part 6: Is the US losing control? The United States is still at a leading position. It controls innovation, semiconductor design, cloud computing, AI development, but the world is changing. Building on top of the US systems is no longer a safe option. US Influence would diminish if nations are looking for ways to protect themselves. China's market is totally lost from the US. Russia is following his path. Europe is leading by regulation. Who knows when local champions will emerge to control European markets? Conclusion: the Internet was once seen as a global connector, but today it's becoming a reflection of geopolitical realities. Europe regulates, China replicates, Russia isolates, and the US, it still leads but no longer alone. The real question is not whether the Internet will split. It's how far that split will go and who will control each side. Thank you for your attention. If you found this breakdown useful, please subscribe, like, and comment. We have a mini video series about the United States. Please consult the user playlist and watch related videos. Please also watch the video I selected for you at the end of this page. What do you prefer between Europe, China, and Russia's path?